California Governor Gavin Newsom once again trying to bait the president into, this ongoing battle over redistricting. That is, the president continues to accuse, quote, Gavin Newsom of failing the people of the Golden State of California. He did that on Truth Social today. We want to bring in California GOP delegate Elizabeth Fark-Kahana and California Republican gubernatorial candidate and friend of the program, Steve Hilton. I want to begin with you, possible future governor. Gavin Newsom really has this idea that as long as he can play the foil, he thinks that really makes him the speaker or the voice of the party. And yet, redistricting, frankly, if you look at what California already has done, they've already kind of leaned into their power. Isn't that fair to say?
100% fair. I mean, it's just laughable watching him there, Gavin Newsom. You don't know whether he really believes this nonsense or he's just being dishonest. But it wasn't President Trump who started this redistricting battle. It was the Democrats, in particular the California Democrats, who years ago gerrymandered the maps in California.
That's right.
So today, if we had fair representation, you would have an extra 12 House seats for Republicans. They've already stolen 12 House seats. So if this is a tit for tat situation, it's Gavin Newsom who's the tit.
And don't even get me started on the late counting, the strange ballots at the very end, weeks after the election. They always seem to go in one direction, Elizabeth. I do want to get your take on something else, too, and this is something that's near and dear to the heart of so many Southern Californians. What's happening over in the Pacific Palisades is really an outrage. Let me share what President Trump said on Truth Social. He said, shockingly, I've just learned that Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is in the final stages of approval to build low-income housing in Pacific Palisades. How unfair is that to the people that have suffered so much? Newsom allowed their houses to burn by not accepting hundreds of millions of gallons of water from the Pacific Northwest. And now, low-income housing starts rising long before he gets permits for California citizens to rebuild, but long after the federal permits were issued. This is no bueno for so many people, and they take it very seriously, what's happening there, Elizabeth.
Absolutely. I'm very pleased to see that Donald Trump is paying attention to Los Angeles and the 1 million Republicans who live in Los Angeles County and the 6 million in California who voted for him. Yeah. And I hope that the people who live in this Palisades, which is a very blue area, can see the contrast between how President Trump is going to bat for them versus how people like Mayor Bass and Gavin Newsom have been putting up roadblocks at every turn. And the affordable housing in the Palisades is one of those roadblocks. They have been trying to change neighborhoods like the Palisades where it's zoned for single-family homes. What affordable housing means is apartment buildings.
That's right.
And the reason why that this is not only... So in city planning meetings and stuff like that, the one thing that the left and the right in Los Angeles agree on is this issue. You cannot put apartment buildings in places that are zoned for single-family homes because the infrastructure there cannot handle increased density in those areas. It is dangerous. You block evacuation routes. You don't have enough police. You don't have enough first responders, and you aren't able to access the people in emergencies. That's the issue.
And a lot of times you don't have the water, as you mentioned, not the infrastructure. Traffic becomes a real problem, and they're doing this all adding to the pain that the people who lost so much have already been through. Going to have to leave it there tonight, Elizabeth and Steve. Great to have you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Kevin.
You bet.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.